Now, as players get loaded into lobby and that pick ban phase does start, what is going to be the strategy in specifically the pick ban phase as we're getting it underway for both of these teams?
Yeah, I think Upsla needs to be more unpredictable. Allegiance has just playing so consistently, and that's kind of been their pillar of strength. So they need to change things up. They need to surprise Allegiance and do something very off-meta that Allegiance isn't used to playing into. So it looks like they're going to go with some comfort bans here. Teamy makes a lot of sense because the rest is amazing on Teamy. And then Tulin being a big priority ban now. It's been switching a lot in NA and EU. We're seeing Tulin being banned much more often.
Yeah, and you know, I think you bring up a good point. Like we saw earlier in Europe today, I mean, with now the expanded hero pools, there are a lot of ways you can kind of be a little bit tricky about how you go through the bans and then the picks. So maybe leaving a couple of those power heroes open so that you just have to essentially trade heroes back and forth or force the opponent to choose first might be the strategy that Upsla has to use, especially being on the red side.
We saw him being played in one of the 6 games that we saw over in Europe. Flash is available, came out yesterday, does not find himself on the ban board. Does this potentially create an option for either one of these teams to pick it, Suijay?
Yeah, Flash could work well in a lot of composition, especially against the ADC composition that he can just dive to the back line and do a lot of burst damage and dash away. I like the Maraud ban. Maraud is actually banned probably against Flowery because Flowery is known to play Maraud extremely well. So hopefully we get to see him show off his Marauds some point later today maybe. But the picks right now with Zenio, Malik being picked, very obvious, very strong side laners, and Wonder Woman being secured. Looks like the draft is looking pretty good for both sides here.
Yeah, fairly standard, fairly safe. Nothing too crazy as of yet. Would love to see how, you know, after Allegiance's next picks, how does Upsla start to react to that, right? We kept talking about they have to bring something new to the table. They have to bring their own color. So far, I mean, it's good, but it's standard. So we're going to have to see a bit of a change.
Yeah, Omen probably will be picked up here. Alice is such a strong pick for Alice and the Flash will be picked up immediately, kind of showing their cards right away.
So you talked about this when we saw Flash come up over in Europe. One of the biggest counters to Flash is that Alice, and so Allegiance recognizing this as well as recognizing the potential synergy. Alice and Flash get picked up, but now Kali and Kilgroth gets hovered over. We saw Kilgroth happen on Wednesday. Not someone we've seen show as much presence as what we had hoped. However, in North America, Flowery and Andy God lock in Kilgroth and Kali for their team.
Yeah, I like that Kilgroth pick because his Gorelord ultimate makes him immune to CC, so a lot of like the stuns from Slims and Lubu knockups and Zenio Malice won't affect him. And Lubu being picked here, really solid draft all around coming from the side lead. And they're actually not go with the Slims, but go with the Morin pick here, which makes Allegiance kind of open and weak in the early game of the phase. But again, Kilgroth is also weak early as well.
Yeah, Kilgroth definitely a hero who needs a lot of time and some items to build up, needs the full ability lineup that he has to be able to put out, you know, damage and stick to his opponents. Last pick looks like it is going to be that Lumber, gets locked in for Upsla. Now we got the full lineups. I mean, Flash being picked up without, you know, any threat from the other side, kind of just announcing it rather from the side of Allegiance. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's good to really go in there and poke like a Kali. However, you got a Kilgroth. Kilgroth is there's no really ADC on the side of Upsla, so they're gonna want Flash to go in there. But the key to what Upsla needs to do is they need to predict where the Flash is and go where he wants to return.
Right.
That's how you counter him.
More importantly, what I'm excited to see is where this Flash is being played. Right before we popped back to our beautiful faces, that was traded into the hands of Sleepy. So it's going to be a Flash mid lane. We're not going to have anything crazy off that end. And if there's anyone in North America that's capable of picking up a new hero right off the mark and immediately showing some level of mechanical prowess, it's going to be Sleepy in that mid lane.
Yeah, definitely. Sleepy is just so well known to master all of the mid lane heroes. I mean, Prada, Tulin, Liliana. He plays every single mid laner at such a high tier level that he's just hard to deal with in the game and provides that mid map control that the Allegiance needs.
Yeah, and having that wide pool again is something that you can't fight against. But it looks like we have our results coming in from the community.
74% for Allegiance, 26% for Upsla. We're going to have to see if the Flash himself is a difference maker here as Allegiance and Upsla start our first semifinal for North America.
Yep, this is game 1, so scoreboards are set at 0-0. Allegiance on the blue side, and we've got Upsla on the red side. We've talked a lot about the Flash. We'll keep an eye on Flash and see how he does. I mean, the poke really going to start to come through on a couple of these roams, maybe the team fights, as Flash is able to jump across different barriers and take out the back line, if there's anyone even there for the Flash to take.
Yeah, Sleepy and Rest already playing so aggressive. They're pushing into the jungle. However, he's going to get a little caught out here. And that's where Flash is a little weak. He can get caught out if the enemy is where he is returning to from his super speed move there. So Sleepy's got to be a little careful, a little aggressive there with a 2-man rotation, because they 2-man rotate into a 3-man jungle rotation.
Yeah, what we just saw is what you were talking about earlier, Sweetchia, but if that happens later in a team fight, right, when everyone has their lockups, then that's not going to be good news for Sleepy. But, you know, early on, just a little risky, hopefully a good lesson learned. Meanwhile, everyone else is kind of keeping to their position. Still a little bit of poke coming in from Sleepy, using that passive as well on the Flash to get that extra shield. We got Rest on Alice there to support.
Yeah, that was such a good play by Sleepy. That's the key. His passive is called Sonic Boom, and he needs to walk around for 4 units and stack up to 10 times. Once he unlocks Sonic Boom, his next attack does additional damage and also gets a shield when he hits his target. So it also reduces the target movement speed by about 50%. So that's the win condition for Sleepy there. It's to get that charge up and go in. And look at the side lane rotation here.
Yeah, a nice gank coming in from Rocker. It helps pick up that first kill against Versi on the Malik, and that leaves the Dragon open. So Legion's going to go ahead and start that. Sleepy just trying to keep everyone zoned out. Zips right back as a Flash, and the Dragon is able to stay in control for Allegiance. This should be an easy pickup for them. Upsla, I would say, also wisely just backing off. This isn't a fight they can win right now.
Yeah, they need to trade something though. Looks like the Kilroth is going to go and invade the jungle and at least take this blue here, which is okay, but they needed to trade like at least a Spirit Sentinel and a tower potentially for that Dragon, because right now they're going to fall behind with another death.
Yep, Zysha goes down. Andy got a little bit too late on the Grievance coming through, and Sleepy still going and gets a cycle and flickers in to try to get another knockup. Flowery goes down on that play.
Yeah, wow, what a crazy Flash play there. That ultimate and that timing, that positioning was just so perfect for Sleepy. He's just always in the right place and right positioning every single time. Now, because they're in jungle got invaded, now they're invading the jungle of Upsla, and they're taking jungle, got another kill. So far, these trades have been so good for Allegiance.
Yeah, Allegiance is just starting to run away even so early in the game. We're only 3 minutes in, and every fight has been in command from Allegiance. They're keeping everyone zoned out. The Sentinel goes as well. God jumping in a little too late on that Wonder Woman. She should be able to go back to lane, but still fighting a tough 2v1. The shield coming in handy.
Yeah, this is looking really tough for Upsla. They're just getting dominated right now, and they gotta stop getting picked off here. They gotta be very careful with how Allegiance rotates. Allegiance loves to rotate to side lane and get those ganks. That's what kind of their signature move before the Dragon is spawning at 2 minutes. They like to really rotate, get some ganks, and then make plays off those ganks and get objectives. So they gotta be very careful for Upsla. Otherwise, they're going to continue to fall prey to it.
Yeah, we see 30 seconds of the Dragon once again, and Sleepy going in, tries to get, only catches one on that slide. Andy God coming through. Zysha's still pretty low. Flowery got separated, goes down. Another kill onto Zysha, and Andy God being finished off right before the tower as well. And that's going to leave Allegiance feeling pretty good right before this Dragon spawns. They might go for the tower as well.
Yeah, Morinera is already 2.7k to Kilgroth's 1.5k. Kilgroth hasn't even finished his Scorching Wind jungle item. And they're falling so behind right now. This is really tough for Upsla. They got to stop giving these deaths. 6-0 in this early of the game at the 4-minute mark is really tough to come back from.
Yeah, and Sleepy's just been so aggressive with that Flash, right? Really just trusting the mobility the hero innately has to jump in and out. Dragon goes to Allegiance once again. That's 2 Dragons and a tower for them. About 4k gold lead. Sleepy jumps in once again, tries to go for the kills. Actually so low, but Sleepy able to back out. Rest caught out a little bit too much, trying to get the support, but Sleepy comes in, helps block some of those shots, goes for a cycle. Flower taking so much damage, gets knocked right back into the center of it. Sleepy zips back, finishes the kill, and is able to start running back out towards Rest.
What a great combo there. Flash's Cyclone combined with Alice's Sunshine out kept him in the Cyclone, and then he got hit by the Vacuum and took much more damage from Flash there. And look at Flash there, just jumping on a Kali, and he has to back off here.
Yep, and KO, meanwhile, just fighting off 2v1, just keeping people distracted in the jungle so that the rest of his team can continue on. Sleepy has just been jumping on to one player after another with no fear. Grievance coming in, not able to reach Sleepy just yet. Sleepy turns back around, actually tries to go for another hit. Rocker also now in the jungle, fighting Flowery, caught out 1v3. This does not look like a good fight. Sleepy's trying to come in, he's trying to gauge that timing, and we do see MTS jumping in with that Zennial with the support, getting the shield and the heals, and now we have Allegiance fighting through again, getting 2 extra kills. They're gonna go for that mid lane tower. That should be another one in favor of Allegiance.
Yeah, this Killground just didn't have that much damage, enough items there, and Zennial coming from MTS, casting that Angelic Splendor and helping protect the Killground. To get that kill was just phenomenal. How confident Allegiance is playing, invading jungle like this, and winning an uneven engage there. They had less numbers.
Yeah, Allegiance is definitely just playing to their strengths, and they're using also kind of those surprise factors from both Zennial and the Flash so well against Upsla that they're not having time to react. God trying to fight, but knows that someone's coming, and it's going to be that Flash and Rocker on Morin as well. Does Rocker need to come in? Actually, yes. No, doesn't get the kill yet. Gotta go into the brush. There you go.
Yeah, nice impact barrage there. Sleepy being a little over-aggressive there. Flash does not have any defense, and Wonder Woman was able to kill him immediately, and you can see that Flash, that's his weakness. He's very, very squishy. So when he goes in, you need to target and burst him down, and that makes him a little vulnerable if he can't use his super speed to dash away.
Yeah, I think the earlier confidence from Sleepy on Flash is what threw Upsla off a little bit, but hopefully that kill gives them a bit more, assurance that they can take down the Flash. They just need to be wiser about how they initiate. Allegiance, though, not letting up the pressure on the jungle. They're taking over the entire battlefield for themselves. Now they're starting to push in towards the high ground. Wow, look at that combo coming in from Rocker's Moore across the wall, taking some tower hits in the process, but picks up a kill against Andy God.
Yeah, what a crazy Magnetic Storm setup and an Impact Barrage. He stunned both of those heroes and just bursted them down underneath their tower of all things.
And another fight going down here towards the bottom side of the map, and Upsla just trying to pick up what kills they can, but they're so low they cannot chase away from their base. So that's going to be another one-for-one trade on both teams as the Dragon goes to Rocker for Allegiance once again.
Yeah, the key is they gotta burst on Rocker. You know, if they fight in a sustained fight, the more stacks Rocker gets from his passive, the more that he's gonna basically be able to build the lifesteal. Because every stack he gets more and more lifesteal, and that's why Morin can single-handedly take a Dragon or take even the Darkslayer so easily in the late game.
Yeah, we're gonna see Allegiance kind of dive into this tower. Lumber coming in with a double knock of Sleepy solo. Takes a couple tower hits, but that's gonna be a one-for-one trade as Flowery goes down. The shot comes in a little late, only hits Rest. Rocker across the wall, putting out damage at range. Picks up one kill, going for another against God, as God just tries to finish off one more kill for a trade, but Rest is gonna stay alive. Rocker gets a triple kill, and that fight goes in favor of Allegiance.
Yeah, these MTS ultimates there from the Zennial. This Angelic Splendor is keeping Rocker alive, allowing him to lifesteal. Look at that combo again.
Yeah, another burst damage, and MTS goes in to lock down the kill. They're going to stay on to Veriche if they want to take the tower, though. That is how you win the game. To get that first high ground tower, they're going towards the middle part of the map. That's 2 high ground towers, and Allegiance now with a very, very handy lead.
Yeah, that is crazy. That combo there, Rocker was able to pull off the Magnetic Storm Impact Barrage combo, stunning Zycia underneath there, and then Zennial comes up and follows up with the Malice. That combo stun just CC'd him long enough for them to get the kill there.
Yeah, Sleepy, just one burst. Andy God not even finishing the Cyclone just yet. Meanwhile, Flower was caught under the tower all on his own. Another stun coming in from Rocker to help secure another kill. Zycia just doesn't have a chance to move. The entire team of Upsla just locked down. God the only one alive, but Allegiance should be able to finish this first game here in this first semifinal for North America. They're pushing through. Sleepy just keeping God at bay. The minion, just one minion there, but that's all they need. Another wave comes in as Allegiance finishes the core and goes up 1-0 in this semifinal.
In the first 4 weeks of play, Team Allegiance has had speed on their side, having the lowest game time in the entirety of the North American Valor series. And what better way to keep that trend than a 9.5-minute victory with Flash on your team? But it wasn't Flash that was the difference maker. It was Morin and it was Rocker.
Yeah, Rocker did such great plays with the amount of stuns that he was doing. I mean, the combos, the mechanical skill of Allegiance was just so fun to watch. I mean, Sleepy as well. When Flash dashes and dashes back and you get hit by both dashes, it does additional damage. And you saw Sleepy do that multiple times to get the burst damage off on the Flash.
Yeah, but Rocker, the 12-0-3 scoreboard, and like you said, the combos were coming out from Rocker himself, using the entire skill set that Morin brings to get the stuns, get the burst, and then continue sustained damage at range. That's a lot for one person to be able to do.
Level 8, 2 level 10s, and 2 level 12s. Underexperienced, underfarmed, and just strategically outplayed. Despite the fact that there was strengths in the composition that Upsla brought to the table, it just seemed yet again, and Chober, you talked about this when we wondered what was their strategy going to be. They didn't come out in the early game, and as the game went on later, Allegiance just got stronger and stronger.
Yeah, I mean, when you're going up against some people like Rocker, who just have that mechanical prowess that you haven't shown us yet, you got to get an early team lead as a team, not 1v1, right? Just because you got a single kill isn't going to help your team. They just didn't have an opportunity this time in that first game.
Sweej, I've got to ask you now. We saw this happen. We're going to get the pick ban phase started very shortly. Now, actually, almost on cue. Upsla's on blue side. They have proactivity at their disposal. What should they prioritize over Allegiance?
Yeah, I think banning away Zenio is critical. I thought MTS's Zenio did such a huge defensive play. Every time Rocker would engage aggressively and be kind of honestly a little too aggressive and putting himself out there, but Zenio's ultimate, that 40% damage reduction over that few seconds made a difference in keeping him alive, and he was able to carry and play to Morin's win condition, which is stay long and survive in the fight, get lots of lifesteal, gets a lot of crits, and that's how Rocker was able to survive so many times. And Murad being banned again, I think this is a target ban against Flowery because Flowery has such an amazing Murad is what I heard, and as a result, he's not able to play it.
Yeah, and the Flash is going to get banned out by Upsla. They didn't like having to play against Sleepy's Flash, so that means that takes up a ban slot. We'll see what is left open. Superman, the last one for Upsla. Is Allegiance going to ban out the Zenio or not? No, they're going to ban the Liliana. So Upsla, do you think they need to take the Zenio away?
They definitely need to take Zenio here. Zenio is just so flexible inside lane. He gives so much protection to Flowery. So if Flowery plays the Zephyrs, for example, he can just go in deep. And yeah, they should pick Zenio here, but looks like they're going to go with the Max.
Okay.
Oh boy.
It's okay.
You seem very. I don't know if it's a fine line between triggered and perplexed, and I think you're.
No. It's more. Well, I had to think about it for a second because at the same time we keep saying, "Ooh, okay, a nice early Alice pick from Allegiance," but we keep saying Upsla needs to take like an early team lead, and Max versus Zenio. Max technically takes more of the initiative than Zenio, but at the same time, Zenio just seems to offer so much more when he joins the team fight.
Looks like they're not going to play Zenio here, but they should play Zenio with Zephyrs. That's a really, really strong composition, but they're going to go ahead and opt with Comfort and go for Wonder Woman. And look at this, L'Oreal with Omen, really strong side laners on. You have Malik, Omen, and that's, you know, two really strong heroes, and Omen just directly counters that Max there.
Yeah, and we haven't seen the Zenio come out yet on Allegiance either. They have the Omen now, so perhaps going for more of a, hey, if you want to leave, we'll just continue pushing through and take the win before you even know it, right under your nose. So we'll see how Allegiance plays that out. Meanwhile, we're looking at Prada, however.
It's interesting to see the prioritizations of both of these teams because despite Zenio being on the table, he's been picked in almost every single game in the Valor Series in both regions since becoming available, but neither Upsla nor Allegiance prioritizes him. Allegiance looking like they're going to go right with the Morin again. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but more importantly, when you can turn a, in many eyes, B-list hero into that goes right around. Kilgroth comes in, so
that's a really good pick because he counters all melee. It's just you cannot fight against a Kilgroth once he has his ultimate up, his Gorelord is up, he can't be CC'd, he has Enraged Spear which does so much AoE, so much attack speed. He'll just rip a Wonder Woman and a Zephyrs apart, and he can't be taunted because he's immune to CC when he has an ultimate up.
Exactly. I kind of like what we're seeing for Allegiance, right? They're saying, oh, Upsla, you want to take out that Max, you want to pick up the Mina. Well, that's great. We're just going to find other ways to win and not have to fight the same team fights you want to fight, where we're not going to counter it with the Zenio. We're just going to continue pushing with the Omen. We're going to continue just fighting through with the Kilgroth because we could care less who's on your team because Kilgroth will just damage everybody and stick onto every one of you.
Let's flip the script a little bit, guys, but while we do get ourselves loaded onto the battlefield, Max, Wonder Woman, couple others. You've got options on Upsla. Is there anything they can do with this with this composition to have a chance at a winning strategy for game number 2?
It's going to be tough because Omen has Death's Embrace. You're going to lock down somebody for 5 seconds. Kilgar's going to go in there and just delete whoever he locks down. Alice with her Sunshine stuns. It's tough. It's going to be a real big uphill battle for Upsla.
Well, they're going to have to start climbing because game number 2 is underway. Upsla versus Allegiance. One more win, and Allegiance will find themselves in a 5th straight finals, potentially the 4th in a row for them.
Yeah, and we are in game 2. Allegiance taking that lead 1-0 in this best-of-3 semifinal. Upsla now on the blue side. We're going to see, there's not much Upsla seems to be able to do too early on, right? Sure, they have the Zephyrs, they have the Mina, but they got the Preda and the Max who are going to take some time. Obviously, Wonder Woman kind of being in a lockdown against the Malik. They'll duke it out amongst themselves towards the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, that's a pretty even matchup for the most part. Malik does win early until Wonder Woman gets more damage or more items, because the more health she builds, actually the more damage she does. Malik just does true damage. And look at this, Zaisha gets a little caught out here. He's got to be a little careful.
Yeah, does try to go back and try to see if they can turn it into a 2v2. Neither team was ready for that one. Both of them back out. But again, you're seeing Allegiance kind of just waiting for an early pick. They want to get that lead so they can lock it down. God, pretty low. Ooh.
Wow, that was really close. And that's where Wonder Woman's got to be careful. Against a Malik, it's really hard to win against him and trade him in the early game because of that true damage, that cleave that he has, and also all that sustain. He's hitting you with Soul Eater. He gets a shield and a barrier that makes him so sustainable in the early game.
Rest has been super active as well on that Alice. Obviously got a couple ganks here in the mid lane, trying to position up top. Verche saw that come in, got the messaging from the teammates, and just hanging back until they have a little bit more assurance. We're seeing Allegiance reconvene towards the mid lane, but we also have Zephyrs and Mina coming up. Everyone kind of hiding in brushes, trying to secure that vision. Allegiance is starting to inch forward. They're going to see Kilgroth first, then they're going to see that Alice. They do see the Preda coming, but there's a knockup coming for Zephyrs and a huge initiation coming for Upsla. Rest is solo. They barely pick up the kill. Preda trying to put out a good burst onto Rocker, but Zaisha solo, and Rocker continue to chase through at level 4. MTS joins the fight first from the side of Allegiance, and double kill going to Rocker. Good prioritization from the Kilgroth.
Yeah, that was a great kill onto Rest there, focusing to Alice instead of the Kilgroth because of that lifesteal he had. And Alice is really squishy. However, Rocker was kind of left unattended and was able to do so much damage to against Upsla there, getting the kill there. And as a result, they're going to take the Dragon and have a positive trade yet again.
Yeah, that was... I mean, it was a bit of an unfortunate fight, right? Like you said, Suiji, Upsla got the right initiation they wanted. They got the kill, but it took just long enough for Rocker to be in the greatest position where he's just being ignored before even having to build up all the items and the abilities. So Kilgroth kind of getting the early lead you want. With 2 kills now, it's going to be soon enough that Kilgroth is at full power already.
Yeah, Versailles playing really smart here. He's playing really safe under his tower. He doesn't want to get ganked again like last game. They had some good ganks on the side lane, so they got to be very careful here. Upsla, right now, what they need to do is they need to use their CC, because if Kilgroth gets CC'd and isn't allowed to activate his ultimate, they can win the fight and burst him down. Because one thing about Kilgroth is he's actually really squishy. He's a fish after all, right? You need to burst him down immediately before he activates his abilities and gains that lifesteal that keeps him alive so long in these fights.
Yeah, as soon as he starts to stick on someone and swinging with the auto attacks, that's going to be no good news for Upsla. So they're trying to go for another pick once again, but Allegiance also got the Sentinel after the Dragon, so they're kind of keeping up their gold lead. Verche getting a small gank up here, but trying to extend the fight because Upsla coming in for backup. Verche solo, though. Can he stay alive long enough? Not yet, so now it's just turning into a straight 3v2. KO gets caught out. Rocker is just going to escape. KO, the Sacrificial Lamb. But MTS and Rest are both here. It is still a 2v3, and Rest gets the stuns. MTS jumps down on the shock, but they're too close to the enemy tower. They're not ready to dive just yet. Half health for 2 people on Upsla. Allegiance doesn't have the damage to finish the fight, and that leaves God open to start beating down on the tower and bottom side.
Yeah, that is really good for Upsla here. Getting a tower, that's a really positive, but he's got to try to get this tower. Can he do it in time? No, he does not have enough time. However, the tower is pretty low. That was a good trade. 1v1 trade there for Upsla. Good rotation to respawn, and you saw what I talked about. Omen went in there, casted Death's Embrace, trapped the Max in there, and then Kilgroth just went crazy. onto the max there, getting the kill, and then that rotation following up was really good.
Yeah, really good combos coming out from Allegiance. There's another fight on the bottom side. Rocker gets another kill. Rocker is unstoppable right now on that kill graph. Sticking onto Flower. He's still going to go for the chase. Finally gets stunned. Dashes through. Just no fear on the kill graph. Sleepy, meanwhile, across on that L'Oreal, trying to get some damage. MTS chasing through Flower. He's so low.
No.
They're so greedy. They're not able to get it. MTS, meanwhile, picks up the might buff.
Yeah, Flower had a misplay there. He used Zephy's abilities in the wrong direction, was not able to steal that buff. But now because of how low they got, again, Allegiance is going like clockwork right now, continuing to take more objectives. Another Dragon goes to their side, which now gives them that much bigger of a level and gold lead. Look at the level. Rocket's already level 9 compared to Upsla, only level 7. No one level 8 yet.
Yeah, 3-0-1 on a Kilgroth. That's a dream come true for the early game, where we've talked about Kilgroth's fairly low. And Sleepy actually gets left behind just a little too early. Tries to blink out of there, is able to do so. Puts the smite down, and now fighting across the wall, staying within that smite for all the cooldowns. Rocker comes in to help finish the fight. Sleepy so low, you barely see the health bar. Finally goes down to one auto attack coming out from Prana. But Andy God may have stretched too far out as Rocker comes in, just raging for another kill.
Yeah, that was great from Atlas there, giving that friendship speed buff for a Rocker to kind of stay on. And this combo here, coming with the Sunshine stuns along with the friendship shield and speed boost, that's going to allow Kilgroth to stay right on top of his opponents.
Yeah, that's not something we had really discussed early on, but you're entirely correct, Sweet J. Rocker, now with the early kills, with the combos from the teammates, and the items being built up, of course, the Scorching Wind already there and ready for Kilgroth. Rocker, I think, is going to become just unbeatable. I mean, tries to go for the steal, runs out, unfortunately not successful in doing so, but putting out pressure nonetheless against Upsla.
Yeah, the key is I love Andy God to land his poison gas bombs. He's been missing his poison gas bombs, and they need to help Zysa here. He's caught in Death's Embrace here, so they gotta help him out, but instead they're gonna back off and give the kill over.
Yeah, that's just a sacrifice. I think Upsla realized that they had turned their back already. It was too late to try to go back and save their teammates, so they just give up the 1 kill rather than risking 2 or 3. MTS being harassed, Andy God coming through. Just a little bit of poke, but not enough to make any difference. And that leaves Allegiance open to take a tower in the top side.
Yeah, look at this gold deficit. It's starting to increase against Upsla here. 5k gold deficit already, and the item parity is not looking good for them. Look at Kilgroth, already finished his Fafnir's Talon already.
Jeez.
Second item. That's going to give him additional life steal and additional attack, which is going to make Kilgroth even more hard to kill.
Yeah, Kilgroth is just a monster right now. Has the lifesteal, has the damage, has the attack speed, can just continue beating on the enemy. And like you talked about with the support from Alice, has no fear of catching up to people and sticking to them with the crowd control from his teammates. And another dragon just being beaten down for Allegiance. That's 3 dragons to 0, 4 towers to 0 Allegiance in a heavy lead.
Yeah, and I really like that build from Kilgroth there. He's going to start building, looks like a Frost Cape potentially here. And look at the fight here. Oh my god, Sleepy has the ultimate up.
Yep, Sleepy jumps in, barely steps out of the smite, but still they're bringing Flowery so low. Flowery's trying to stay alive, gets taken down eventually. And now we're going to see the rest of Upsla try to come in for backup. But Rest and Sleepy are so healthy. Zysa just not being able to do anything. And Andy God barely gets them poked down, but not fast enough as Rocker comes in. The slows down on Andy God. There's a stun over the wall. And they get Andy God down as well. That's another 3 kills with only 1 lost on the side of Allegiance.
Yeah, nice triple kill by Sleepy there. That supporting cast was just amazing. I mean, Rest casting the friendship shoes at the right time, landing those Sunshine ultimates, and then Rocker's gonna hit it solo this Dark Slayer here, and this looks very, very good for Allegiance.
Yep, Allegiance meanwhile pressuring the high ground tower in the mid lane. They're not successful in taking it down, but they still got it down fairly low, below half health. Meanwhile, the Dark Slayer still being worked on up top by the Kilgroth. It's about to go down. I mean, Kilgroth's so healthy even fighting the Dark Slayer right now. You can see how ahead he is. There's the buff. Allegiance now poised to try to start securing this victory in Game 2.
Yeah, and again, Rocker's build has so much attack speed, that 50% attack speed the Scorching Wind gives you once he stacks 15 monsters. And in Fafnir's Talon, it gives Dragon Breath, the unique passive on that item, which is 8% of target's HP. So every single attack does 8% of target HP along with all the other weapon damage that he is adding to there. So that's really, really nice build by Rockers. That really makes him super dangerous.
Yeah, and Upsla, you can just tell they don't really have a fight here. They can't even fight under their own tower because of how quickly some of them will get melted by some heroes on Allegiance. So Allegiance using that to their advantage. They have the buff as well, and here comes the shot for MTS just to keep them out. Zaisha actually dies right back in, and now it's a whole mosh pit as Upsla tries to defend their base, but isn't going to be enough. Fairchain now caught out. Meanwhile, the rest of the team was just decimated. That's a complete wipe. Allegiance able to finish game 2, and they win the whole match 2-0.